I choose you, Detective Pikachu, to be number 2 at the box office. We're going to catch all the box office results next on Box Office
Welcome
Breakdown.
to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies. And now, here's Popcorn Talk's Box Office Breakdown.
Hey, everybody, welcome to Box Office Breakdown. This is the show where we look back at the box office that was, and then we...
Prague.
Nos.
D.
Kate.
Done.
about the box office that lay ahead. No funny business today. We're just getting right to the heart of this content. I'm Frank Moran.
What's up? Kari Lane here.
I'm Amy Cassandra Martinez.
And making us look good and sound even better is Brianna in the booth.
Oh, they won't
Perfect.
hear her, though.
There you go. But she's, just know, you may
She's
not be
still
able to
here.
hear her. She's always with us. Yes. Just like the
Aw.
Lord. Right?
I like that.
We're walking in her footsteps. There you go. So as always, folks, like us on Facebook, give us those 5 stars on iTunes, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and while you're there, give it a thumbs up. 2, 3, 4, however many you can. And Kari, if they're watching after we stream live, what can they do?
Yes, you all can comment down below, and we do have a live chat, so hello to everyone joining us live. And if you're watching it later, that's still cool. Comment down below what you thought of what we talked about.
That's still cool. I mean,
It's
not
still
really-
cool.
Right.
I mean, it's not really-
You know, we still love you.
So, folks, we'll be talking about this week's box office results. We'll look at the international numbers. We'll do our next week's box office bet. And then at the end of the show, as always, we're going to dive into some spoiler territory about some of the latest movies coming out, including Palms and Detective Pikachu. So we'll give you plenty of advance notice for spoiler warnings if you want to duck out of there. But if you want to stick around to hear our thoughts and reviews of the movies, you'll get those at the end of the show.
Woo.
So we'll dive right back into this week's top 5.
Yeah.
No surprise, Avengers Endgame coming in number 1 still. $63 million.
Pretty nice.
There you go.
It's barely hanging in there.
Barely. Anybody
Yeah.
else see it again?
No.
I've seen it again. I've seen it again.
Wait, how many times now?
I think this is 4. Yeah.
Why?
You know, there's things that about this movie that frustrate me, and then there's things that I enjoy.
Okay.
You know, I don't know. I guess I have to like this film for overall because there's a lot to chew over on this one.
Okay, now when you're going these 3 subsequent times, are you
Yes.
going different people or by yourself or both?
Oh, I just go by myself.
He's a loner. It's fine.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
kidding.
Yeah. I mean, I know that there's a friend of ours, Sean from Marvel Movie News and stuff that is at his Marvel
Yeah.
show. 8 times he's gone. 8 times.
Wow.
That might be a little excessive for me. But
Wow.
So are you getting different experiences besides,
good-
obviously, you've seen it 4 times now. Are you choosing completely different seats? Are you seeing it in IMAX?
That's
Are you
actually a
going
good
to a
question.
different
Different
theater?
spots in the room? Yeah.
I did go see it in IMAX just to see what that was like.
Converted.
Yeah, there you
Was
go.
it better?
Yeah.
It was fine. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Or no
It wasn't like, oh my gosh. I mean, certainly it was shot in IMAX cameras and stuff, but
Okay.
no, I mean, yeah, I haven't seen it in 3D, and I will not see it in 3D. I will be fine without having that experience.
Okay.
Yeah, but I guess it's the more times I see it, the more that it just the things that I've enjoyed, I continue to enjoy, and the things that frustrate me continue to frustrate me. So
the spoiler ban has officially lifted
That
on
is
all
correct.
social media. But with that being said, do you cry at the sad moments? Did you cry the first time? Have
I
you
did.
cried since? Do you cry harder?
would it be worse
Well,
if I
'cause
just
you
cried
know it's
harder each time
coming.
and I just
Yeah.
ugly cry?
Yeah,
totally.
because then you know it's coming. You're like,
Yeah.
I thought it was okay, and then you're not.
That's right. I come in with my box of Kleenexes.
Yes.
They're ready-
Yes.
No one would
We're
judge
gonna
you.
do this.
I'm rewatching an anime show on our anime show on AfterBuzz, and in rewatching it, it's so much more emotional going back in because I'm like, but I know where it's going. So like, is it emotional because you know that that's coming, so you can almost see the steps leading to it.
It is. I mean, certainly the stuff that happens with Tony Stark in that film still hits you.
Yeah.
Okay.
It still hits me. The stuff with Steve Rogers still irritates me.
Did you hear? I was like, wait, would we wait for spoilers? Because I'm like, an alternate, totally random theory
Please lay it on us.
that him and Natasha have a separate life thereafter.
What?
Yeah.
Say what?
What?
I'll have to link you to the tweet, but the idea is that when he goes in time, is able to get her back, and they live out together because Steve never says the name of the woman at the end.
Get out of here.
I think you're just saying
That'd
that to
be
make
crazy.
Frank more upset.
No, it was the thing I saw, and I go, well, they have no... No, that's
Peg
true.
me.
And they said he does dance with her, but they can't change what would be her inevitable future.
So he
and
takes
so
off?
it's a separate thing.
So it's like, let's have this quick
And
dance.
yes,
Bye.
and I was like, I almost buy it, but I never felt any chemistry between those two people romantically. So I'm like,
No.
I don't know. But I thought I will tag you. I'll tag it. So go look at hashtag box office breakdown like in an hour, and I'll link you guys.
Well, I've seen people saying like, during that 5-year gap, Cap and Black Widow, they got it on. I'm like,
You people, seriously?
No, it's just they want a
can
happy
we-
ending for everybody.
all right.
Oh,
Amy, please, this is a family show. Come
you
on now.
went there.
No,
Yes,
I followed
did.
your lead.
No.
All right, coming in at number 2 was Detective Pikachu, $58 million.
Not bad at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And before this film even came out, they had already greenlit the sequel. So at some point, we will be having that gracing our big screens. So we will get into our spoiler-filled review. But overall, what did everybody think?
I liked it. I watched Pokemon when that came out and enjoyed the show a little bit. Though it was a little too kiddie for me that I didn't stay invested. And I played the card game. I have not played Pokemon Go, so I was familiar enough with the source material, like I could sing the theme song kind of a thing.
Pokemon.
So I really enjoyed the movie. Some of the emotional levels I didn't buy as much, that I didn't feel like their sense of loss, but since they're not as attached to people, that makes sense. I'm not saying spoilers, but I was like, you follow? And so I love the visualization of the Pokemon. And there was an article, which I think I tagged you guys. There was a guy drawing the realistic Pokemon, and he actually worked on the movie because they linked him instead of just hey, find this picture. So I love that. I believe they were in that space, and I thought that was very cool. So I enjoyed it. And I think you could watch it even if you've never seen or played anything Pokemon.
I agree. I am one of those people. I do know parts of the song, I have no idea why. I've never seen. No, that's not true. I did see an episode maybe within the last year or two.
It's a catchy song, so it sticks with you.
Yeah, but I thought it was really great. I think, like you said, anyone can really watch it. Not the greatest movie you'll see this year, but certainly not the worst. And there are certain highlights for me, and I will share those at the end.
Well, are you going to reach out to make sure they put that on the posters going forward?
Of course, I always do.
Certainly not.
Certainly not the worst, not the best. But there was a lot of highlights. I think the writing could have used some help.
Fair. Frank, what do you think?
The one thing I really enjoyed is much like Alita Battle Angel is the production design. I thought
Yes, it was gorgeous world building.
Yes, I thought they did a great job on that. And for more, we'll wait till the end of the episode.
Yes.
Coming in at number 3 was the Anne Hathaway Rebel Wilson collaboration, The Hustle, that made $13.3 million.
I feel bad because I remember seeing trailers and then I just completely forgot about it. I feel like they kind of stopped marketing it.
Yeah.
And then they were like, wait, no, keep going. We're still here.
Yeah,
Forgot about it.
If you could think of a least less interesting comedy pairing than these two, I would be hard pressed to think of that.
No, I love Anne Hathaway.
No, I said comedy pairing. Though.
I know, but
you would see it regardless
I would
of who
see
the
it
partner
because
was.
of her. Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah. Not a huge Rebel Wilson fan, but if she's paired with someone cool, I mean, I don't know. I could find some. I can't think of any at this very moment. Maybe. I don't know. I'm gonna offend people with whatever pairing I say.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I feel like Rebel Wilson she's better in just small doses. As we
I think
talked about
she's great in
before.
an ensemble.
Yes.
Because the thing is, anything when it's like sugar and you have the overload and you can't really appreciate it. But if you have it in smaller doses, it's like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I feel the same way with her. Of she's really funny, but when there's too much segments of it, then you're just like, okay,
Yeah.
moving on.
I don't know. I wonder if as an actor she's just trying to. She got her name out there with Pitch Perfect. Maybe she's still trying to milk that so she can do whatever she really wants to do. I'm curious to find out what that is.
Yeah, but I feel like by this point in Rebel Wilson's career that, and I did not see her Isn't It Romantic? So I've heard that there may be a few more shades in that. I don't know if that's true or not, but I feel like by now we would see this. We would see those, at least some of those sides of her coming out. I feel like hers like the way I feel about Seth Rogen. Like, and you know what you get, and by this point, I'm really getting tired of that particular serving.
Same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, there's a guy comedian that same way. And I'm like, oh, I'm totally blanking on his name. But ensemble, there are some people that better as part of the, because when you have that contrast, that's what's funnier. You know, it's not just only the one thing, because it's like having the character that's like the straight character of like the more serious one, and then the one that's the zany one. And the balance is what makes it comedic.
Well, I would also say it's up to the writing. Because if we're getting these flat characters where it's like, hi, I'm a stereotype, and I'm going to keep doing the same thing over and over again.
True, yeah.
It's like, let's get some depth. But in order for them to still stay kind of relevant, or for people to still be talking about them, they need to take these roles.
Yeah. It's, I mean, and this is kind of a reimagining of Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, which it's been a while since I've seen that film. So I can't even remember what my thoughts
It's been
are
a long
of
time,
that film.
yeah.
You should watch both.
Do that as a double feature. That'd be interesting.
I'll let Amy do that. She volunteered.
No,
She just volunteered.
I pointed it to you.
No,
You got it.
What?
What?
Oh, no.
It's yours.
Oh,
there
no.
it is. What?
Coming in number 4 is The Intruder from Screen Gems, $6.6 million.
Oh, yeah.
I,
I keep forgetting about that movie, and I feel bad.
I keep hearing like Dennis Quaid's like a lot of fun in that film, so it does make it
Fun. I know.
Yeah.
I'm almost fun.
Well, just his performance in there. It's just,
Oh.
you know, he just the. You know,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, he chews up that scenery as a creepy guy who doesn't want to leave a home that he just sold.
I can relate to that, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess.
All right.
Maybe.
And coming in at number 5 is The Long Shot there, $6.1 million. Yeah, I could see why it is not hooking audiences. As we talked about a little bit last week, my issues with that film.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, of course, we did our box office bet.
Yes, we did.
Yes.
We certainly did on a little film called Palms, and Kari has seen that film, so she'll share her thoughts about it at the end of the show. But we did our box office bet there. So the film did a whopping $5.1 million there at the box office, and our bets were Amy did once again pulls
Yeah.
out the win with a nice solid $6 million bet. I came in second with 7. Kari at
Oh,
8.5, and Brianna aimed for the fences there. I applaud anybody that likes to swing big. $10 million. I can't wait to hear what Brie thinks of this movie.
Oh.
Just a little bit. A
Yes.
little peek of that.
Just a little, yeah.
Right.
Well, I'll say, I mean, we'll get into full spoilers at the end because we know some of you can't see it opening weekend. Totally understand. I often can't see stuff right away, first time, right when it comes out. But I will say I enjoyed it. The people who are disliking it, I'm like, did you not see the trailer? Like, that is a case where when you see the trailer, I'm like, that's what it is. It's not meant to be taken seriously. It's very cute, and it kind of is bittersweet because it deals with dying and like living your best life and doing what you want to do because you only got one time to go around,
YOLO.
essentially, right? And I'll give more of my thoughts at the end.
No, look at that. So, folks, we will have another box office bet to have you folks participate there in the chat and choose the film that we will place our bets on for next week. And those 3 films are A Dog's Journey from Universal on 3,200 screens, the sequel to I think it was Dog's Life? Yeah.
Purpose.
Dog's Purpose?
Life,
Whatever that is.
purpose,
Life,
and journey.
Purpose. Yeah,
all
one of those.
that together.
John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum. Can't wait for that one. That's going to be exciting. And then The Sun is also a star. There you go from Warner Brothers. One of those nice CW stars elevated up to a movie kind of show. So we had Cole Sprouse last month or so, back with our hey, we're both ill, and now we've got Reggie from if you watch Riverdale on the CW, he is in this film.
And then also before we get towards the bet, I'd want to let all of you know about a film coming out because, you know, we consume quite a few film content sources around here. So a new movie coming to theaters just came out May 10th in Los Angeles, so double check your local theater. It's a whimsical new Spanish comedy, and it's called The Bastard's Fig Tree. I'm like, that is a fun, unique title. It's based on a book, and it's set like early 1900s, and go check it out.
All
Like,
right.
I don't want to spoil it, and then that'd be stay tuned. I'll tweet my thoughts about it too. But It had
Is it in-
near the end of the Spanish War. There we go. A trigger-happy fascist soldier turns into a hermit and gets caught up in the care of a fig tree. After the look in a 10-year-old's eyes, the son of one of his victims, and awakes in him the certainty that the kid will kill him as soon as he reaches 16 years of age. So it's like whimsical and not regular cookie cutter dry movie, and it is in Spanish, but there are subtitles, so don't worry about it. And it will have a digital release June 4th.
Well, look at that. There you go.
And actually, I'm sorry, one more. I'm like, wait. Tanya Saga of Tanya the Evil is an anime movie coming to theaters, and I will give my thoughts on that later because there's an embargo on the reviews till tomorrow.
Well, look at that. Mm-hmm. Oh,
All the things.
all the things. All
Yes.
the things. So, yes, for the 3 films that I mentioned, start voting away there in the chat about which one you'd like us to do, and we'll do our box office bet towards the end of the show. Again, that's A Dog's Journey, John Wick, Chapter 3, and The Sun is Also a Star. But before we dive further into other content, we're going to talk about some international numbers as well. So, Detective Pikachu took the #1 spot at the international box office, dethroning Avengers Endgame there, with a $103 million start in 62 markets, just edging out Avengers Endgame. So it looks like, along with the earlier release in Japan, the offshore total for Detective Pikachu is $112.4 million through Sunday, and the global total is $170.4.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, there you go. So Disney's and Marvel slash Marvel's Endgame added another $102.3 million to its total in 55 markets there, and so globally, the MCU pick won the weekend with 165.4 to $161 million for Detective Pikachu. Ooh. So last week, Endgame sailed past Titanic to become the #2 movie of all time in both offshore and worldwide, and its total sits currently at $1.76 billion internationally and $2.486 billion globally. So yeah, it remains the #2 film of all time behind Avatar, with about $302 million now separating them on a worldwide basis.
Yeah, it might happen.
It's totally going to happen. I have a feeling.
You think so?
Yes.
$302 million.
I think so.
I mean, given that it's only its 3rd week.
Yeah, and if people like you keeping,
Right,
keeping
you're
them
feeding into
That's
it.
true.
Yeah.
Yep. It's my
going.
AMC A-list money just doing those little drips in the bucket there
you
every
go.
week there. I think it'll be close. But I also read an article there this week too. It's like no matter even if Avengers Endgame beat it, it still wouldn't really. People when they start saying, well, of course, box office, you got to increase for inflation, and then also China, a big impact in terms of the Avengers. Also, when Avatar came out 10 years ago, there were considerably less theaters available there in China. So, if there had been as many movie theaters available now for Endgame as there were back for Avatar, they speculate that number that Avatar's global total would have been even higher. Making it that much more difficult for Avengers Endgame.
Well, most people leaving comments for last week are like, nope, not going to happen.
Well, I say, yep, gonna happen. So we'll see.
I feel like Marvel is going to at least try. I mean, to let it, to keep it going. I mean, I think it'll be really close. It'll be interesting to see.
I'm sure there are still people out there that haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
So,
Or they want to wait till after the hype, or they don't want to go, it's too crowded. Like, go to a little movie like Palms. It was, there was actually a decent amount of people in my theater, but it was still more on the emptier side. And maybe some people would rather see Endgame when there's less, like, the hassle of trying to get a seat, or, every other showing they've gone to, it's either sold out or it's, front row seats, and they don't want that.
Yeah.
So,
I saw it last night at, was it 10:30? And, I mean, that theater was packed. So
Wow.
10:30 on a Sunday night, and it was a packed theater.
Saturday night?
Sunday night. Oh,
You said
Saturday
last night?
Saturday, Sunday.
Yep. Getting my days. I need got to keep drinking this good stuff.
What time's
Giving a small shout out to Intruder, because we got Neela J in the chat says, I saw Intruder. Dennis Quaid did great playing creepy. Thank you for letting us know.
There you go. Yeah.
But did you like the movie too, though? Because you could like somebody's acting in a movie and not like the movie. So, and yeah, leave those comments if you see movies that we didn't really get into. Let us know what you thought of them without spoiling them.
And lastly, for international numbers there, it's The Hustle came out from Universal in 27 overseas markets, had a strong $12.5 million debut. And it looks like Us topped Get Out with an offshore total now of $79.1 million.
Us, that's right. That is right.
That
Yeah.
movie came out
Unicorn.
this year.
Yeah.
There
No,
you
I'm
go.
just thinking because we're almost halfway through the year, so I'm thinking all of all the movies / films that we've gotten this year, and yeah, that was this year. So good.
It's all right. So, folks, before we get into next week's projections and picks and all that stuff, we're going to do a little box office rewind. We're going to look back at somebody who's going to be in one of these upcoming films. And if you're going to, John Wick 3 is coming out. So, of course, we're going to talk about Laurence Fishburne. So,
Sure.
yes, that's right. A pivotal role in the John Wick
Yes.
universe. So I thought we'd, of course, Laurence Fishburne, as you can imagine, is top 5, very steeped in the nerd films. So we've got our DC Universe films as well as got the Matrix in there. So I decided to go for Laurence Fishburne's bottom half of his top 10 list for his opening box office weekend. So we're going from 5 to 10
Okay.
of what he did there. It's just because it opens it up a little bit about other films that we can actually shed a little light on, as opposed to like, oh yeah, we've talked about how we feel about Justice League, Man of Steel, enough. So I feel like, yeah, let's talk about something a little different for a change.
Yeah.
So this is counting down from 10 to 5 in Laurence Fishburne's bottom half of his top 10 list for opening box office weekends. We'll kick it off with number 5, Predators from Fox back in 2010, 24.7. The Robert Rodriguez directed version.
I like that one. I'm like, yeah, I've seen the older
Yeah.
ones.
I'd like to see it again because
It's been a while that I'm like, I can't honestly say, but I don't remember disliking it.
him, Topher Grace, a few other people in there as well too. Yeah, I remember kind of digging that. I mean, they're basically Adrian Brody. That's he's the big guy for that one.
Yes, wait, no, I did like that one.
Yeah, taken
Wait,
to a
yep.
planet where they are stalked by the predators. Number 4, The Matrix, back from 1999, $27.7 million.
That was fun.
Yeah. Wait, what?
There's a little pause in there.
Did you not like The Matrix?
I thought I was very young.
Right?
And I was like, okay, what is this? Everyone and their mother was talking about it. So when I saw it, I was like, oh, okay. I saw it at home.
Yeah.
And it's like blue pill, red
Red or
pill.
blue, yeah.
Yeah, red or blue. I'd love to see it again.
What was your reaction when you first saw Bullet Time?
What?
Bullet Time. That's
So
you.
I've only seen this once. So
Oh, okay.
I do not remember 99% of the movie. I remember Trinity because I dressed up as her for Halloween.
Oh, really?
It's an easy
I've done that
costume.
too. Yeah.
Pretty fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I get to wear the cool sunglasses, and they were like the really skinny ones, very 2000s.
I liked it. I remember when it came out, though, that people started thinking trench coats were bad because then that was Columbine and like school
Oh,
shooting,
God.
and they thought
Oh my god.
wearing a trench coat meant you were going to be like this crazy deranged kid shooter. And with that movie that they're shooting people, they're like, that's what's influencing kids to kill people. And you're like, but you need to watch the movie. That's not what's really happening, but it's just them judging it. Very different time period when that came out.
Wow. Yeah. No. I'm not gonna say how old I was, but yeah, we weren't talking about that. I think it was more
Yeah.
of just, whoa, did you see that movie? Well, that's it.
Whoa.
No, it's interesting when
Whoa.
No, but
You
that
were
is
like,
interesting
whoa.
too, of when you see a movie, either what was socially going on at the time of its release, its reaction then, or sometimes films get that steam later and people react to it, or the cult classic later, or who you saw it with and where you are in your life.
That's the biggest thing. I saw, not to go like too off what we were talking about, but seeing Kramer versus Kramer today, I'd seen it maybe 8 years ago, 10 years ago, and I remember really liking it. But seeing it today, I was like, whoa, there's so many more layers. And so, I mean, I don't know, something to keep in mind.
Yeah.
So I'll definitely watch The Matrix again and see what I think of it now.
Like tonight?
I don't know about tonight.
Yeah, why not? It's perfect Mother's Day film.
Totally.
The Matrix.
Yeah.
There are, I guess, films that when you're watching it, you at least for me, you feel that just that excitement within you.
It
Because
was very exciting when it first came out, for
because
sure.
you're seeing something that you really haven't seen. You're seeing like the film being elevated to the next level in terms of what they did with the effects and the stunt work. You're like, holy cow, this is
True.
something I've never seen before, and this is awesome.
Well, that's the other thing too, to take into account when watching a movie later, to go, okay, but this was special at that time.
Yeah.
Because
Which-
like Citizen Kane's hailed as this amazing movie because it did so many pioneering things at the time.
Yeah, I have no problem too. I mean, even 80s movies where I'm like, okay, sure, it feels dated, duh. But what was it like for people watching it then?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Because if you look at like Terminator 2, like that's another example of when you're watching that stuff happen. You're seeing just effects work taken to the next level. And it's like, holy cow, look what James Cameron is bringing to life on the screen. That is
Right.
awesome. I'm seeing something I've never seen before. And then like the next time I really felt like that same way was when I saw The Matrix, and you're like, to bottle that feeling that you have when you're watching a movie where you're seeing something for like that's just completely blowing you away. Like, I've never seen anything like this before.
Now, do you like Wachowski's other projects?
I'm a huge fan for Speed Racer, and I know many people do not like that film. I enjoy that film tremendously.
Not a movie, but did you watch Sense8?
I did not watch that series at all.
Love that show. So good.
Cloud Atlas, they produced it, but I enjoyed Cloud Atlas.
But I would highly recommend Sense8 because what they do with editing and how they film it to make the 8 people appear and disappear and stuff, so good. And like that would be a new level of filming because it's just so exciting. As the first season, they don't do it. They do it well, but they get even better. Have you seen Sense8? Have you heard of Sense8?
You just said 8 people, and I was like, what?
Well, the
I
idea
don't
is
know what you're
that
talking
you and 7 other people are connected, and you can utilize their abilities. For example, like you're connected to somebody in Korea, and you could speak Korean because they do.
Oh,
Or
that's cool.
you're good at playing piano, and then somebody over there has to. They're at a concert and they have to play. They could tap into your ability and do it. And there's a lot more going on. I do highly recommend sticking with it because the first 4 episodes, you have 8 people you have to introduce, so it takes a while to build up to what the big bad and issue is. But stick with it; it's so good. Love that show.
Yeah, there was something about the Wachowski siblings that, man, they made such a huge mark on cinema with The Matrix. And then people have so many different opinions about the subsequent 2 films.
Yeah.
For me, my enjoyment of those films dipped tremendously, and I was really bummed by the end of that trilogy. And I just feel like I thought when they came back with Speed Racer, that was something that really resonated with me, and it just never really caught on with the general populace. It's a shame because I would have loved to have seen more films in that same universe.
I didn't dislike the subsequent ones, but I can definitely understand they're not the same thing.
They are not. And I don't know if that was so much the audience wanting more of the same. And like, okay, you gave us this, let's see what's next. As opposed to the Wachowskis may have had other thoughts about what they wanted to do with those films that didn't necessarily correlate with what the audience
That's true.
wanted. So, which was, but I just felt like they came out with such a huge, big splash, and I just don't
But then that's sometimes hard for people to get that follow-up.
Yeah. It's been a bummer. I will still always check out something that they done, but I still have not had that same kind of visceral thrill that I had with The Matrix. Coming in at number 3 for Laurence Fishburne's films there, it was John Wick Chapter 2, as we're talking about this. Back in 2017, the $30.4 million. Are you guys...
I like the sequel.
Yeah? Amy, you don't seem like you're a big fan of John Wick.
So I've seen the first half of the first John Wick, and I
Perfect.
fell asleep only because it was super, super late.
Okay.
But whoa.
There's a movie, that is one too, that I felt changed a bit of how we do fight choreography in a movie because it's wide shots, one take.
And it's one person, like knocking everyone down, and he's not necessarily like a superhero or anything. No, like Jessica Jones or anything like that. I do have to admit that I just saw the first part of John Wick 3 weeks ago. So I'm gonna finish that, watch the second one, and then I'll watch the third one. Or chapter 3.
Certainly, I mean, one thing, Keanu Reeves, he fully throws himself into those roles, whether it's The Matrix or John Wick, in terms of training and everything that he does. I would love, and I have not seen it in any interviews, to see how he compares the training that he does for John Wick, how that compares to The Matrix.
And also he's older and like having to stay that active because it's one of those, for example, he's not exactly that age, but like he does Matrix at 20 and is doing John Wick at 40. That's a very different body that you're in.
Very true.
And not necessarily one's better or worse, but that's just a different way to maintain and train.
Yeah.
Got to be like that Tom Brady, you know? You got to keep Special, yeah, you drink your avocado juices. Is that the name of it? It's not a real name for a product. Coming
It is now.
Number 2 for Laurence Fishburne, Ride Along from Universal, 2014, made $41.5 million. And then rounding out Laurence Fishburne's bottom half of his top 10 films, Mission Impossible 3 from Paramount back in 2006, $47.7 million. It's that was the J.J. Abrams when he took over and kind of righted the course, at least for me, for the Mission Impossible series. But I felt like it went into the thing that I have not enjoyed as much about the Mission Impossible franchise is where whoever's overseeing the Mission Impossible force doesn't stick around for very long. So Alec Baldwin stuck around for 2 films, but he's wiped out again, and so now we got to worry about the next film setting up who that's going to be, and it's like, I'd rather can we get a little stability in that? Because I feel like it's too often that person is always like, I don't trust you, Ethan Hunt.
Right?
Like, all right,
Yep.
we get it. All right.
Yeah.
Somebody just please trust him.
But that's just kind of sadly basic casting nowadays. Because if someone always plays a villain, please leave a comment, let us know your thoughts. I'm always skeptical. I'm like, they always play a villain. I don't trust them.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you have that?
Yeah, well,
Ooh.
yeah, but I thought that was played to nice effect with Ben Mendelsohn in Captain Marvel.
Yes. That was
Yes.
my favorite way that
Yeah.
they go, whoops, just kidding.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was
That was
really
great.
nicely done. So, folks, we're going to be getting into our next week's top 5 and then our box office bets. So keep voting away in the chat there for either A Dog's Journey, John Wick Chapter 3, or The Sun is Also a Star. We have the 3 of those films entering our box office this coming weekend. Do you see any of them topping either Avengers Endgame or Detective Pikachu to take number 1? I mean, what do you think?
I think John Wick will do well.
It's on a little over 3,600 screens. Do you think it takes number 1?
No.
Probably not.
No,
I don't think so. I feel like people have got an appetite for this film right now.
Yeah.
Could be. Different kind of fighting, too. That's the other thing. As you were saying, like superhero, he's not.
Yeah.
He's just that good. And he's thorough. It's double tap. It's not just, I'm going to shoot them and leave. You're like, no, he does the job.
A lot of vengeance.
Because, I mean, if you think, like, even Avengers Endgame, if that takes another 50% drop, I mean, that's, you're getting around $31 million there.
It could do probably better than
Pokemon,
30. That's true.
It's going to end up around somewhere around the $30 million range as well. I think it could beat both of them.
So
No, you
put
say it
at
that way.
one.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
So then John Wick, Avengers, keep Pokemon.
I would keep Pokemon as number 3. I put A Dog's Journey as number 4.
People love that. I cried watching the freaking trailer.
That's why I'm like,
It's like, jeez, dang me.
and then would you do Sun is 5? It's based on books.
People love them. That's Yara Shahidi, right? And is that Charles Melton from Riverdale? Yeah.
Yep.
So people love them.
I'll
And
stick with that as 5.
I'd go
teens
with
don't
that.
have anything,
Yeah.
really. I'll go with that too.
Look at that. What an easy consensus to reach. All right, so folks, we're going to do our box office bet right now and then get into our spoiler-filled takes of Pokemon Detective Pikachu as well as Palms. Cannot wait to hear about Palms. So, folks, in the chat, let us know what the film that you're picking. And we will bet
Right
on
now, we got to hurry up and get a tiebreaker. Right now it's Dog 3, Sun 3, and Wick 3.
it. Oh, holy
Come
cow.
on.
All right. So, folks, while we're waiting for that last vote to come in to break the tie, the box office bet, we're all going to be placing our bets on what we think the opening box office total will be on the film that you have voted on in the chat. The winner will be like Amy. Look at her, so poised and basking in her great win. She's the prognosticators for the week. The loser will have to go see the film and tell us all about it.
Or see it if you want to, anyways.
That's true. Sometimes, the loss is totally fine.
I saw it because my mom wanted to see it anyway, so then I'm like, sure. If that's what you want to do for Mother's Day weekend.
Oh, what a
That's beautiful.
what a nice daughter.
You know,
There you go.
I try.
I'd be like, I'll see you afterwards, Mom.
Ooh, we got a few more Wicks, so
All
let's
right.
just go with John Wick. Because
John Wick.
we all agreed that
Okay.
would be number 1, so then
Yeah.
that's kind of fun
All
of
right.
like what we think.
John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum, 3,600 plus screens there. We've got Halle Berry, Laurence Fishburne,
a lot of people.
Angelica Houston. She's in the film as well, too. So many of the people here. I think this is, all right. Here we go.
And that's one that I'm like, I don't care if I get it wrong. I want to see it anyway.
No. Wait.
Frank.
Okay. I am in. Bree, would
Oh
you
my
like...
gosh.
Well, the people won't be able to hear what you say.
But we
Would
can
you like
relay
to
what
join
she
us?
says.
Yes. All right. Let me just type this in. John Wick. Bree. There we go. We got Bree, Amy, Kari, and me. There we go. Very exciting, guys. I'm typing. It's so much fun, everybody. It's just as much fun as you think it would be.
Woohoo!
All right.
Yay.
Bree, are you ready to go? All right. There you go. Bree, what do you think John Wick will make this coming weekend? Oh,
Bree
I love
says
it.
72.
Bree, man, she
Damn,
goes, steps
I
up to the
like
plate
it.
and she hits it. She goes big.
Yay.
Amy?
Okay, hold on. 42.
Oh, all right. A little conservative, maybe. I don't
Yeah.
know. We'll see. All right. Kari?
47.
47. All right. Well, this is intriguing.
Jenna James in the chat says 40.5.
I went with 52.
All right, Frank.
All right.
CC Drink says 45 in the chat.
Oh,
Anybody
look at
above
this.
50? Let's Frank.
Oh, there you go. There's Amy always sweating it since she's at the bottom.
Well,
I
Yusuf
always
says
am.
37. They're lower than you are.
Yeah, but they're not here.
I know.
Like, I am scared.
All right,
It's
ladies.
fine. I'm gonna win. It's fine, guys. Like, it's fine.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it right now. We're going to dive into a spoiler-filled takes on Detective Pikachu as well as Palms. So,
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
So if you're
Spoiler
listening,
alert.
yes, and you don't want to join in that, you can tune out right now. We'll give you our social media handles, and you can join us next week. So, thank you for watching and listening. Like us on Facebook, give us those 5 stars on iTunes, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and thank you everybody for hopping in the chat. If you want to stay in touch with any of us even after the show's over, Amy, where can they find you?
You guys can find me on all social media at Amy Cassandra MTZ.
nailed it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And my name is Kari Lane. You can find me online at Kari D Lane. That's KaridLane. And over on AfterBuzz, we just started the Attack on Titan after show. So, I love that show. And also we started Modica Magica. So going a little bit of a rewind. And we had special guest Christina V in the house. So go check out those videos. And also, if you don't know, Spanish Princess started last week. So we're starting episode 2 today.
Spanish
There you
princess.
go.
Ooh.
Follow me on the Twittergrams at HappyGoJackie. Folks, that's going to do it for this episode. We're going to jump into our spoiler reviews right now. All right,
Okay.
Detective Pikachu. What did everybody think? All right, I mean, the biggest thing is that you're wondering, like, how's Pikachu's got Ryan Reynolds' voice? And then we see at the end.
Oh, I love that.
That was a nice reveal.
That was good. Well, I thought it was super weird you don't see his dad's face.
Yes.
I was like, this is weird. This is weird. And I didn't even think about it. But then I go, oh, okay.
It makes sense for why you didn't see it for the longest time.
What is that
That
reaction?
was a piece of crap. We deserve
What?
so much more than that.
Wait,
That was so freaking predictable and boring. Like, oh, and then like Pikachu and the way that they animated him, everything was just so beautiful. I was like, I
Yes.
just want to like
Yeah.
hug you. But then you see his face and it's just like, oh, that is his dad. Oh, wow. Okay, so now they're gonna be separate. Like, oh, really? Like, do better. It would have been more if he couldn't leave anymore. Like if his body, like something had
if it
happened.
was damaged beyond.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then it's like that's it. It's like no, it's a little too like hallmarky for me. Like I need a little more oomph to that. And then like I don't know. Like Ryan Reynolds did fantastic with you know as Pikachu. Like holy moly! That by the time he gets out of Pikachu, I'm like shut up. Like you're not as exciting as Ryan Reynolds voicing Pikachu. Makes sense. Like oh okay yes they understand each other because that's his dad.
Yeah, I would be
it's
interested
crap.
in a sequel. Like, would you be interested in seeing Ryan Reynolds as a human actor and no voice for Pikachu except for the Pika Pika, whatever his natural voice is? I think I'd be less excited by that.
because the big
excited,
draw
yeah.
was us seeing Ryan Reynolds voice that character. So now that that's gone, I am curious. But I'd almost rather a sequel, but something else in that world. Like it could be different characters
Yeah.
even, but maybe they interact with these people and then do something else.
Okay, help me out. There's those Pokemon that were the ones with they spit out the water. Not Squirtle. Is it Squirtle? The ones that they
We're
like,
putting out the fire and
yeah,
stuff?
Squirtles.
Squirtles. I would have loved to see them more.
Oh, okay.
'Cause
Yeah,
they're
we don't
cute.
get much Squirtle. We get Bulbasaur and Pikachu, and we also barely get
yeah.
any Charizard.
Oh, and Psyduck was so freaking annoying to me. Like it was cute at first. I'm like, yeah, no, I get it. Like, that's what you say your name over and over again. It's kind of like Groot, kind of. Like, I get it. But then he was just like, Psyduck. And I'm like, stop, you're making me anxious.
But I think that's the point.
But that's annoying.
Yeah. I, having not really been steeped into the Pokemon oeuvre, I was like, I'm still going to check this out anyway.
Yeah.
And when they kept on saying, oh, yeah, he explodes if he gets too crazy, I thought it was going to be a literal, like, he
I
was going to
kinda did,
explode.
and then I'm like, oh, that's like an energy blast? Okay.
Yeah, all right. But I really was like, he's like a grenade. He's just going to
Yeah.
pop at some point. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, all right. Cool.
Well, like, and I get it. Like, having a Pokemon as your partner, that's cool. I love
I
the
thought that was really
idea.
cool.
Yeah, I'm like, ooh, who would I have?
What would you pick?
Yeah.
Right.
But you know what I thought is like Bill Nighy. So he plays the bad guy in this film, which of
Yeah.
course no surprise. But his plan made zero sense. I could see what he wanted to do to get into Mewtwo, but why there was
To do it to everybody else?
Yeah. What was
Wait,
the
you
point
mean
of that?
older white man trying to control what people are doing?
Well, yeah, but
no,
what
I'm
was
just
the whole point
Yeah.
of that?
No,
I
it
had
was
no
dumb
idea.
because for him it made sense, but why on earth would he want to enforce that on other people? Because also Mewtwo has a more humanoid body and could
Those
speak.
legs, though, he was thick. Really
But
nice
like
quads.
the
I
other
was like,
people,
good for you.
how much would it suck though to be some of the other ones and not be able to speak anymore? That it's like, yeah, but that is often a
True.
villain's short-sighted plan that they really only care about themselves and then other people. But it was one of those like, okay,
Because I feel like his downfall was like that he made his plan too big. If he
Yeah.
had just kept it to himself and Mewtwo, I think he'd
That's
have been
true.
much more successful. Like he went crazy, and I
Yeah.
think that's what ended up
but
ruining
that's
the
a
whole thing.
villain. They're crazy. No, I feel that's
Yeah.
boring.
Oh.
Channels like Cubone. I liked Cubone. That was kind of funny.
Which one was the one that was like, boop?
Oh,
Ditto?
Yeah, that was pretty creepy.
I
With
did
his
like
eyes?
that.
Yeah, the
Oh,
eyes were
yeah,
so,
that's so-
weird. Yeah, I like
We
that.
definitely all can agree. Visuals, stunning, off the charts, great.
Yeah.
Actual
Yeah.
plot, story,
Like-
I do think that people, I have heard more of the people who play the game, like there is a Detective Pikachu game, so which this movie follows, and so they're like, it's way more enjoyable for them. And I had a friend who she loves Pokemon, and she's like, I wouldn't recommend it to other people who haven't played or know anything about it. Which I'm like, I beg to differ, but you have to know it's going to be a little more quirky than regular life.
Yeah, I really thought get them playing like, hey, good old Justice Smith. He doesn't. He wanted to be a trainer, and,
Yeah.
and we saw little snippets of that occasionally with Pikachu. But I really wanted to see like him
Better
like
skills,
Yeah,
yeah.
and that never really happened.
See, with him,
fighting,
I didn't buy his
too.
emotional levels.
Yeah,
Like him being sad, I'm like, eh.
I
That's
bought,
where I was like, I don't buy it.
I bought Pikachu every single time.
Yes,
He stole every single
yes.
scene, and he was my main highlight. I was like, I just need a movie just all around him, but not.
like him with his
but
coffee,
like Ryan,
too?
Oh, yeah, and just like sipping. I'm like, this is adorable, but voiced by Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true. So I know before we wrap up, folks, we got to hear Carrie's hot take
Yeah.
on Poms.
No. So since we are doing spoilers, it is bittersweet because spoilers. Diane Keating's character dies in the end.
Why is she always dying in these
While she's
right
cheering?
roles?
No. No, but but you kind of know that because she goes to this retirement community and they're like, well, why are you here? She's like, to die. And they're like, whoa, that's getting a little ahead of yourself because she doesn't tell anybody she's dying of cancer and she knows she's going to die. She refuses to do chemo and treatments and is like,
What kind is it? Do they touch on it?
ovarian.
Okay, I figured
Because
that
they
would
mention
be
it at the
painful.
end. Yeah. No, it is. And she's often sick. She's still taking pills to treat it, but refuses to do that, which it's like, yeah, a lot of people doing the
Yeah.
chemo is more destructive and hard on the body, and you'd rather just live out your days and have some fun. And that's kind of the big point of it, too. I like that it's essentially a cheerleader movie, but it's elderly women, and they have like their cheerleading training montage, audition montage. It's really cute and cheesy, but that's what it is. And I'm like, they know that though. So anybody who's like, well, I'm like, come on, like you got to know what it is. And they touch upon some really nice themes without being like too over the head. Like there's the bitchy cheerleader who actually realizes I like hanging out with you guys more than my bitchy friends. And like, that was wrong of me to be that way towards you. But they don't say that like that. But she grows and I'm like, oh, I like that. And also I'm like, damn, that would make the best college essay if I trained these seniors to compete in a cheerleading competition. And I was like, they don't touch upon that, but I'm like, that's what I was thinking. Because it also was they try so hard to do a cheer thing, and they find like they enjoy the camaraderie of hanging out with the other women, and like they never got to do it before, and why not do that now? Like, why? And because that's the other thing too, like if someone goes, okay, well, you're too old to do it, and they're like, but who says it's not in the rules or something like that, and they do compete in a like, I don't know how big of a scale it is, but like a state cheerleading competition. And clearly they're not going to do what the kids are doing. They're clearly not. But they learned a routine. It's like so heartwarming and cute, and everyone like loves it. And so it's definitely the feel good and good lessons, but it is the sad, but the reality. And they touch upon that. Like, you know, I'm scared to die, but like, well, then why are you holding back? Like, this is the time to do this, so do it now. And it's like, aww. So it will be bittersweet feel good. So if you I know some people like the spoilers.
Yeah.
I would say that, be like, no, you still feel good. Like I cried, but I still felt good about the end.
Do they launch Rhea Perlman high in the air?
No lifts things. But they have a commercial for funerals are expensive. Why not be a firework? Like literally they'll take your ashes and do fireworks. And that's what
Beautiful.
she decides to do.
That's
so
what
cute.
better way to end this show on. There you go.
Go out with a bang.
All right, yes. Folks, that's going to do it for this episode of Box Office Breakdown. We'll be back next Sunday night with an all-new episode right here on Popcorn Talk. Bye, everybody.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.